Hi everyone, it's Wednesday the 13th of July and this week's challenge is in the dead of night. Got a pretty horrible couple of maps on here, but we do have Shane to be our star hero and Hunter's starting charged. So early rounds are going to be quite fun. Hard end rounds and Nightmare are going to be relatively tricky, it's particularly a couple of them. Before I get on to the weekend events, I just want to let you know that I won't be doing any videos Wednesday, Thursday. I'm away and won't have time to, so might get some done Friday evening, but don't expect too much from me this week, unfortunately. Hopefully next week will be better and I'll be back on form. And again, sorry about last week's lack of videos. Some stuff going on in real life still, but I'm hoping that that'll all be finished soon. So let's move on to the events, and the first event we have is Jackpot Deluxe. So we've got a chance of all silver or all gold crates after our missions. Hopefully you'll get quite a few gold ones. I didn't get too many last time, but good luck to everyone and hope you do. And the next event is 5-second upgrades for all survivor, building and weapon upgrades. So good chance to upgrade any heroes that are left behind or any weapons that you want to get done. And with that, let's get on with the maps. First map is Vapaya. It's a get to exit. You've got some burning walkers auto spawning in the top left, and you've also got an incoming. Normally you can do this in a couple of moves, makes it quite easy, but with Shane in lead, not going to be so easy. Probably early on you're going to be able to explode it all and move on, so a weapon with tactical is probably going to be quite helpful. Later on, not really sure, possibly hunters with Shane's buckshot, which stuns, will be quite useful, and Rosita in there with her assault weapon will also help, being able to hit a lot to cripple and move towards the line. And you can also take Beta in there to herd stuff, and Right Giglen as well will be quite useful on this to stun a lot of them. So it shouldn't be too bad a one. If you've got any questions, give me a shout. I'll see what I can do to help. The next map is Midnight Snack. You've got to open 3 crates, one at the top middle, one to the left of it, and one to the left-hand side of the map. Once you've opened all 3 crates, you'll get auto spawns of firewalkers in the top right hand side by the line, and there's also an incoming, so you want to keep the threat down if you can. If you open the top right box last, then you can normally get to the line without having to deal with the burning walkers. So and if you've got Pizza Glen in there as well, it makes it even easier. Do watch out for the incoming, because that does make it tricky, and at Nightmare you've got a 1-turn incoming. And that's going to be really tough with Shane in lead. So not looking forward to that one towards the end. The good news is that they do start quite punched up on the left-hand side, so hopefully you'll be able to explode them, particularly up to sort of plus 50. But after that, it's going to start getting really tricky. Anyway, the next map is Narrow Path. So this is going to be an easy 4-star. Pretty much all the way to the end, because you can just take your time and kill everything. What you're going to want is Shane in lead, obviously, a shooter, probably Yumiko with cripple, and anyone else really. You could probably use another shooter or hunter. Kill the first 2 walkers in the room without moving off the line. If you move off the line after the first turn, you'll start getting incomings, auto spawns behind you. But if you wait, I think it's 5 or 6 turns, might be a few more, then you won't have any incomings. So you just kill those 2 in the room, set the stuff on the left on fire if you can from where you're stood, and then once you've waited enough turns, move up to the top, kill everything in the two right hand side rooms, and then you open the first gate with the button in the middle, run 2 of your survivors to the right hand side. With your shooter, so open the buttons with your shooter. Once you run to the right hand side, open the button on the right with your shooter, run the other two down to the line, and then on the next turn there will be an incoming. Hopefully it won't be on the line. If it is, then hopefully you'll have your people charged to be able to clear it. If it's not, if they don't come in on the line, then just run your shooter down and exit. So super easy, takes a while, but take your fire weapons and burn them out, and that will work all the way to the very end. Next map is Nightly Visitors, which is generally known as the hardest map of any challenge set at the moment, and quite rightly so. You've got to kill 2 tough tanks and then get to the exit. There's blind corners, is incoming, and it's tough. So there's 2 ways of doing it. You can either keep the threat down and manage to keep the tanks away whilst doing it, or you can burn the tanks out and try and keep the threat down, which is a much harder way of doing it. Hoacha might be quite useful on this, as will Shiva, because I think with Shane leading, the best way to do it would be bunch up the 2 tank walkers, which you can now see here. So you want to get their attention, get them all bunched up with some regular walkers and explode a lot of them, and then dash for the line. Timing it with the incomings is going to be tricky. You'll get an incoming at the start line, so you want to keep Mercer back 1 space from where he is on this screenshot, and beat where he is to stop anything coming in behind you. They also come down in the 2 spaces where the end turn button is. They also come out on the line and along the top towards the right. So all over the place. And killing the tanks isn't usually the problem. It's then getting to the exit once they're killed. Zeke might be quite useful if you've got a Morning Star, or particularly the Interrupt Morning Star might be quite useful. And Mercer is going to be really useful, probably with the Obliterator to keep the threat down, just to take those massive chunks of damage off those tanks. So, as I say, it used to be the hardest, probably not so much anymore. Silent Spy will probably work quite well, or should I say, but with the S being Shane, if you want it. And you should be able to get through it without too many difficulties until towards the end, when you start getting the 1 and turn incomings. Personally, I'm not looking forward to it that much. I've always hated this map, but hopefully with tools and supports and the new heroes, it shouldn't be too bad. So the next map is Deer in the Headlights. I used to love this map with Beta in lead. Pizza Glen, you could get it done in a couple of turns. It was really tactical. Having to have Shane in lead, not going to be nearly as much fun. You've got to open 3 out of 6 crates. They're quite spread out. You also get an auto spawn in the top right after a turn or 2. Then you get auto spawn in the top left. You also get auto spawn in the middle, and you have an incoming. It is going to be a horrible map. Really not sure what's going to be the best way to deal with it with Shane in lead. You're going to want to keep the threat down, but you also want to open those crates quickly so you can get out before those auto spawns start coming out. I'm probably going to drop Shane on it quite quickly this week, because I haven't got time to mess around with that. But that one's going to be really tricky, I think. So if you are stuck, then shove Beta in lead with Pizza Glen and Zeke, and you probably shouldn't have too many problems. Open the ones at the top first, move over to the right, and using Pizza Glen to open and interrupt with Mercer's Axe, Zeke to stun and take any hits that are required, and Beta to herd stuff as you go. Good news with the primed Overwatch not attacking herded walkers anymore. It should make it even easier with Beta in lead. So that's that one. And the last one is emergency evacuation. So you start like this with 2 burning walkers to your right, and then there's a load of walkers above and to the left of you. You normally can't see too many of them at the start, but they are there. There is a nice trick to this, which is probably going to be quite useful with Shane in lead, and that's using the hard corner, which is just to the right of the bush, top right of the bush. As long as you can kill those first burning walkers or keep them stunned, you can pretty much control the rest of them to ignore you, set them on fire, and then let them burn out. You can see previous versions of this on my channel. If you have a search, I'll probably put a link to my most recent commentary video of it as well, because I won't have time to show you this week. But should be alright with Shane in lead this one. Ursa Yumiko is going to make it a bit of a walk in the park, to be honest. Especially if you can bunch them up nicely to explode them at an opportune time. I have been talking down this challenge a little bit, but I'm going to say it's going to be super fun up until it's not, because Shane, as leader with some ranged people, is going to make explosions happen all over the place. It is probably going to mean you're going to struggle to get charged, because if you kill from the explosion, then you're only going to get 1 charge point from the one you killed, not the ones you exploded with that kill. But I still think it's going to be good fun up until mid-nightmare. Sort of around 68 onwards, that's going to get really tricky. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the weekend, and have fun. And any comments, leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Bye.